Cassie, thanks so much for being here today. We're excited to chat with you.
Thanks for having me. I love doing stuff for you guys.
Well, thank you. We're so grateful to always get to partner with you. And here's a little bit about Cassie, but Cassie's a political commentator, graduate student, and founder of Lone Conservative. While attending a liberal women's college in Western Massachusetts, she founded Lone Conservative, a group blog created to give a voice for conservative students. Cassie is also the host of her podcast, The Cassie Dillon Show. She previously worked at the Daily Wire as a writer, where she also created short documentaries focusing on immigration, homelessness, and feminism. She frequently makes media appearances and writes on topics involving the Middle East, free speech, and cultural issues on college campuses. Her work has appeared in Campus Reform, The Daily Wire, The Hill, Providence Magazine, The Washington Examiner, and Wall Street Journal. We're excited to have you all here today. Here at NEW, we educate, equip, and empower women to be principled leaders for a free society. We are working to create a vibrant community for young women, and we're grateful to have technology like this where we can be able to continue to provide the programs that you guys have come to know and love from our organization. So we're excited to provide more of this kind of content, so be tuning in. We'll publish on social media as we have more events coming up. So yeah, again, please leave a comment. Love to hear from you guys. We'll be answering questions at the end. But just want to kind of get started and ask Cassie what her favorite social media platform to use is.
So, okay, I'm going to say Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I love Twitter. I have tens of thousands of tweets I've put out over the past few years. However, okay, this is complicated. I like using Twitter, but I love being on TikTok too. I know TikTok, the communism, the Chinese data, whatever, but TikTok is just so much fun and it's funny. Twitter is where I want to get my news and kind of chat with friends or put out a hot take, but TikTok really does kill time, especially during the quarantine. So Twitter wins, but TikTok is a close second.
Great. Yeah, TikTok is definitely entertaining right now. All the videos coming out. I feel like I'm seeing influencers use them all the time.
And there's a lot of conservatives on TikTok. There's so many young kids making content, live action. They're pro-life. They have like 50,000 followers. And, people are really conservative. And these are all people between the ages of 16 to like 20. So these are all young people. So it gives me hope too.
That's great to hear. And it's one of those things, I know you can kind of go viral really quickly, even if you don't necessarily have a huge following. So that's really neat to be able to see those platforms and giving conservatives a voice.
I posted a TikTok of a seal in Mexico. I went to Mexico last year. A seal jumped on my boat. I posted a TikTok of this seal and I got like 2 million views. It was insane. So easy to go viral on TikTok.
That's great. What have you done to grow your social media presence?
It takes a lot of time. People just ask me, like, what's the magic thing to do? There is no magic thing to do. There are many things you have to do over a very long period of time. It takes a while. I started a Twitter like when I was in middle school probably, but I didn't start using it until 2016. And I grew pretty quickly. And the main reason I did that was, one, I was following what was trending. I was talking a lot about the elections and everyone was on Twitter trying to figure out what was going on in 2016. I still don't think people know what happened in 2016, but everyone was on Twitter constantly. And what I would do is I would engage with very popular accounts. So people do read their replies. If you respond to a Donald Trump tweet and you do it quickly, good chances are you will get comments on that. Or if you respond to a Ben Shapiro tweet or any of the bigger conservative accounts, even if you respond to mine, people read what people are saying to me and you can find followers that way. You can get interaction that way. But most people don't realize that Twitter isn't just for you to put out your hot takes. It's all about interaction. That's how you gain the following. Yes, you can have a tweet go viral, but you're not going to build that base. They might like your tweet, but they're not going to like you, which means they won't follow you. You really have to build your brand. And you can't be afraid to put yourself out there. I have all these inside jokes to my followers that they love. I see someone in the comments is talking about my beagle. I have a beagle named Barbara, and she's really famous. And so I talk about my dog. I love that. I have an ongoing thing where I find crazy stories and I react to it saying, what in tarnation? And I'm like, I'm known for saying that now. And I have all these different, like sometimes I'll say good night to everyone, and I change it every night. And so people look forward to those things. So you really have to have your brand, and you have to give people a reason to follow you. What makes you different than everyone else?
Mm-hmm. Great. So how would you say, I know you talk a lot about Twitter, but how would you use each individual social media platform differently? How do you use those to get out the conservative message?
So Facebook, I do not have the biggest Facebook following, mainly because I don't try to have one. I really don't like Facebook. I use it. I have a social media company, a marketing company, and I have tons of clients, and most of them are on Facebook. So I do a lot of work with Facebook, just not in my own personal brand, mainly because I just can't stand Facebook. I mean, I have things automatically going up, like automatic lone conservative articles, but I really can't stand Facebook. But if you're trying to grow your Facebook, the way you have to do it is you have to post a lot. Not as much as Twitter, but you do need to post a lot. And you also need to interact with people in the comments. But you also need to share things that are kind of like low-hanging fruit, if that makes sense. Like memes go viral on Facebook very easily. Clickbaity videos go viral. So you kind of like, you have to know your audience. Your audience on Facebook is usually a little bit older. And usually they like the memes. On Twitter, they like wittiness and hot takes. And there's a lot of inside jokes on Twitter. But Facebook is kind of just, how do you mass appeal to people? And I'm not a big fan. Now, Instagram, you just have to have really attractive, good-looking things. You need to have very clear photos, very high resolution. My Instagram is more also kind of in line with my Twitter. It's very personal. It's showing a lot of my dog, mainly because I hate being in photos. Like, I can sit in front of the camera, I can talk to you all day long, but once you put a still camera in front of me, I get the same pose every single time. If you look at my Instagram, it's all the same pose. I get very nervous in front of still cameras. But I also have clients on Instagram. The main way you have to do that is you also need to post a lot of stories, interact with your followers, and just have very attractive, clean-looking things, and also putting yourself out there. TikTok, as we said, TikTok is kind of like, how many things can you throw at a wall and one of them will stick? It's more about quantity over quality.
Okay. If you don't necessarily have a professional camera, how do you get that good quality photo for Instagram or for TikTok for videos? And
it's all about the lighting. So you can have like an iPhone 8, which has a decent camera, but if you're taking photos outside when there's good lighting, but also sunny is not really your friend. You kind of want overcast. It's better for lighting. If you take photos outside, it'll do better. If you're taking pictures in your house at night, even with all your lights on, it's not going to have good quality. You really want to focus on that lighting. Also, videos do well on Instagram. And with your phone, if you have an iPhone, you can turn up your resolution and you can turn your phone to HD, 4K, to make your video quality better. So you really need to make sure you're having good lighting. And like right now, I have a light in front of me, not behind me, not to the side of me, in front of me. Granted, my webcam is not the best of quality, but you want to make sure you really know how to play with your lighting. And that's honestly a new skill I learned. I didn't really learn how to do any of that until I started working at the Daily Wire, because most of you don't realize this, the Daily Wire is a production company. They have tons of cameras and lighting and all of that, and you have to play with it and see what works.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many tools, like even on Amazon, you can get like a little clip-on ring light or the big ring light. And
all right, ladies listening, if you want to make your selfies better, get one of the ring lights you can attach to your iPhone. It'll make it so much better. Or even just a regular ring light, and you can get them on Amazon for like $10. It'll make it so much better.
Yeah, I know. I have a ring light for work and have the carrying case so I can take it to any of our events, and it helps so much.
It's amazing.
Yep, lighting is key. Definitely agree. So you were talking about building your brand. How would you say you've differentiated building your own brand on social versus building the brand of Lone Conservative?
So my brand started with something that I'm no longer known for anymore, and that's really good. The reason why I started my social media following was because I took a viral video of a protester back in 2016. That's all I did. I just turned around, I took the video of this protester. I'm not in the video, I just took it, and then Fox saw it, and Fox had me on Fox News. And so I did an interview about it, and that's how I started getting my social media following. And so for a while, I was known as the girl who recorded that protester. And then I didn't want to be known as that. I'm so much more than that. And so I started to write, and then I founded Lone Conservative, and I started working with all these different organizations and building up a following, making connections, going to the Daily Wire, going to Pepperdine, And so I really just spread myself out, and I just went after things that I was interested. I really don't think I've ever changed who I am to build my following. I don't actively try to build it by believing what everyone else believes in. Like I have taken positions, especially during this coronavirus situation, that have made me unpopular with a lot of people that I respect. So I just be myself. But I have been trying to make Lone Conservative different from me. Lone Conservative is a college organization. I have 1 year left of graduate school. I might go for my PhD, but I'm not going to be in college forever. So I want Lone Conservative to be known for being Lone Conservative, not for being Cassie Dillon's organization. And I finally think it's starting to get to that. I really think that Lone Conservative is growing. It passed me on Instagram. Like, they're doing really great. So I just keep Lone Conservative focused on the students. A lot of college organizations should focus more on about their students rather than their figureheads. And that's not a slam at any of the organizations. I get why they do it. It's easier to build a following when you have a credible face, but I really care about pushing up my students' work. And so I just really want to promote their articles, get them more bylines, and really help them grow their careers.
Yeah, I love that. That's definitely great. I know working with our students and helping them, get their op-eds and get them published. Like, I love getting to push our students' work, and it's very rewarding work.
It's blown my mind to see how so far some of these students have come. Some of them are editors now. Some of them are working in comms departments. Some of them went into the FBI. Like, our students are going to all these different places. And I really hope in 10 to 15 years from now, we have people who are Lone Conservative alumni in Congress, or working in the White House, or, in the State Department, just all these different places, or, in the media.
Yeah, that's great. Well, let's wrap it up, at least our conversation, with what advice would you give to conservative women who want to grow their social media profiles and use them to advance their conservative principles?
So, especially for girls, don't sell out, okay? It's really easy to get the following, and I am not trying to slam on anyone. I really am not. If you want to do these things, go for it. If you don't, you don't have to. I really have tried to make my social media following be about what I believe and who I am. Again, not slamming anyone, but a lot of times girls will go and they'll take, more attractive pictures or things like that, thinking that they need to show off their bodies to get a following, and that's just not the case. You're a smart woman. You are a person who deserves to be followed and deserves your value to be shown. You don't need to necessarily show off your body to do that. If you want to do that, that's all you. That's not what I did. I really try to push out what I believe and who I am to get my following. And it's harder to do that. It's really easy to post a picture and just get a ton of followers. A lot of girls do it, and I'm not slamming them. But I really think if you want to grow your social media following, you need to interact. You need to make friends online and have your little community. You should stay out of drama. That's one thing I didn't do. There's tons of Twitter drama. People are constantly fighting with each other. I avoid that so much now. I just want to get what I believe out there and try to promote conservatism. And the way you do that is just interacting with people, putting out good content, being original. Don't steal people's content. That's a big problem too. And just, bringing some positivity. That's a really good way to, especially right now when there isn't a lot of positivity. When you're putting out positivity, people like that. So just figure out what your brand is and start putting it out there.
Great. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Cassie. We really appreciate it. Thanks for sharing all of your words of wisdom. Now I have my team texting me some questions that have been shared. Let's see. What does Lone Conservative do? Sorry, let's see. Okay, Anthony asked, what does Lone Conservative do, and how do you give conservative women opportunities?
So Lone Conservative is a website for college students to write for. I sometimes jokingly call it the National Review for college students, because it's an opinion website where college students are writing what they think about things. Sometimes we do some new stuff, but not really. And they're putting their ideas out there, but also learning how to become better writers. So we really do edit their pieces, and we have a columnist team where people are getting constant feedback to become better writers. But recently, we've been taking a lot of articles and pitching them out to get these students more bylines. Because getting into the media is not that easy. It's very competitive, especially in conservative media. So by giving them more bylines, we're building up their resume. A lot of the students also have joined our social media team, or our fundraising team or our outreach team, and they're getting these things on their resume, which have helped them get internships and, you know, professional development. So we are trying to train young conservatives to go into the media, and we do this in many different ways. We have video editors and writers and commentators and podcasters. So we're just trying to do it all.
That's awesome. Great. Cassie, do you have to do something controversial to build a following?
No, so you don't need to. I did. It wasn't even that controversial, honestly. I took a video of a protester, went viral. The internet named her a somewhat offensive name. They called her Trigglypuff. I didn't name her that, they did. And it did get me a following, but it got me like 2,000 followers. I'm at 140 something right now. And that wasn't because of that video. It was because I was retweeted by the president, and I didn't say something controversial. I just said I wouldn't be his friend. I wrote a bunch of articles. I made some documentaries. So there's different bumps that you get for doing things. Sometimes you can just have a really simple tweet go viral. So no, you don't need to do something controversial to get more following. That's not what most people do. It does help. It really does help. I mean, there's plenty of cases of someone doing something and it had a news cycle, and you get this following, but then what do you do with it? You know, you don't want to be known as just that person. So there's other ways to do it, and I recommend you do the other ways.
So follow-up question to that. How do you ensure, if you do post something controversial, how do you not take the comments from trolls or the bots personally? There's so many people just only posting negative and like essentially attacking each other on Twitter. How do you not take that personally?
I'm an expert at this. I get a lot of hate, a lot, and it's from both sides. I get like crazy radical leftists coming at me and the crazy alt-right coming at me all the time. And a lot of people say don't read the comments. I read most of them. I really do. I got to the point where I never blocked anyone on Twitter until recently because they were just getting so out of control that I started blocking the ones that weren't using their face. If they're using their real face and their real name, I won't block them because they're not hiding behind a computer screen. But if they're like some anime character tweeting at me, like, I don't know who you are. You don't even know who you are. You don't say it. So why would I respect anything you're saying if you can't even say who you are? So I see these comments. They're really offensive. I have really thick skin, and I just remind myself that I like who I am. I'm fine with taking criticism that's warranted, criticism that might make me better, but these people aren't trying to make me better. These people are trying to drag me down, and they're probably doing it because they don't feel great about themselves. So I just ignore it. I see it and I just disregard it because I'm happy with where I'm at and I don't need their negativity. So, but there's a but to this. A lot of people don't have thick skin like me. I grew up in like a very, like in my family, I had to get thick skin. There was no other option. I had a very bad childhood. And so I was conditioned to deal with this. Not everyone is, and I've seen it tear people down. So as it sounds wonderful to have a big social media following, there's been many setbacks for me. Many. I've lost opportunities. I've gained opportunities, but I have lost opportunities because of it. And the constant criticism does get to you. So you really have to think about, is this what you want? I'm at a point right now where I'm not interested in growing anymore. I like where I'm at. I don't want to go any bigger, really. Maybe a little is fine, but I really like where I'm at. I'm happy with where I'm at. And I know as you get bigger, you get constant negativity. I mean, look at Ben Shapiro. He had a small following for a while. He had a really good fan base, and now he's really big, and he's constantly getting attacked all day long. It usually happens on Fridays when he has to log off for Shabbat, that he constantly has these giant controversies happen. And, you know, that starts to take a toll on you and your family. So I'm perfectly happy with where I'm at right now.
That's great. Well, thanks for that. Let's see. Another question. How has having such a large social media following changed your day-to-day life?
That's a good one. So before I had the big social media following, I was in Air Force ROTC. My goal in life was to go into the military, go into JAG, which is being a lawyer, go to law school, be in the military. That's what I wanted to do. They still made me take the pilot's exam to check my eyesight and all of that. And I had 20/20 vision. Like, I had perfect eyesight. Now, a couple years later, I'm on my phone so much that I wear glasses now, and I already need a new prescription because mine isn't strong enough anymore. So it's taken a toll on my eyes. That's one.
Okay.
I'm constantly on my phone. and it's caused a lot of issues for me, even in relationships. People like ex-boyfriends could not handle with how much I was on my phone. They didn't realize that it's working. It might be me trolling around on Twitter, but that's work for me. That's how I build my following and get more op-eds out there and that sort of thing. So that's hard to manage. Luckily now I'm with somebody who gets it, but that's sort of an issue. And my piece of advice for anyone else doing it is make sure you take a day off. Usually on Friday nights or Saturday nights, I take a break. I just put away the phone and I have it to myself. Just no matter what's going on in the news, I'm going to spend that time for myself. So it's changed a lot for me. From going into the military and then deciding, no, I want to go into media instead. A lot's changed for me since I got a following.
Great. Well, Cassie, thank you so much for joining us today. I think that's it with the questions right now, but definitely feel free to leave questions in the comments and we'll definitely get back to you. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Cassie, where can they go follow you on social media?
You can follow me at Cassie Dillon on all social media platforms. Luckily, no one else has my name.
Great. Well, that makes it easy. Thanks again, Cassie. It was great to see you.
Thanks. And I hope you're taking care of yourself and staying healthy.
Thank you. You too. And all of you guys out there, stay healthy. Thanks so much.